Okay, time to go scroll through some comments and reply to some. I have no idea. I made that video so many months ago. Let me check. Wait, this is the music video everyone's confused about? Let me check the other timestamp. Didn't I even put both of these in a pinned comment? Who can say where the road goes? I mean, to be fair, I don't think I posted it that long after that music video came out. Maybe those are just some old comments. Wait, what about these? These were posted a couple days ago. Oh my god, they don't know. Okay kids, take a seat. It is time to learn a thing or two about Got7's Japanese releases. To date, Got7's Japanese discography consists of 5 single albums, 2 mini albums, and 1 full album. Since these releases can actually overlap a little bit, I'm going to go through each of them individually. Don't worry, I won't be spending too much time on each of them. I'm mostly going to be just showing you what songs are on the release and what title track is attached to it. Basically, my goal with this video is for you guys to get the clearest and most complete list of the songs that Got7 has released in Japanese, because sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to compile. Got7's Japanese debut was in October 2014 with their first single album, Around the World, which has 2 songs on it, Around the World, the title track, and the B-side, So Lucky. Let's go, 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 let's go, go, go. Their next Japanese release was another single album in June of 2015, this time with the title track Love Train and the B-side OMG. That was followed up pretty quickly by their 3rd single album, Laugh Laugh Laugh, in September 2015 with the title track Laugh 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 and the B-side Be My Girl. You gotta laugh, 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 come on right to the left. You gotta laugh, 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 come on front to the back. You gotta sing, Then in February 2016, they finally released their first full Japanese album, Moriagatteyo. While this is a full album, only 6 of the 16 tracks are actually new for this album. Of the other 10 tracks, 6 of them are the 6 that were released on single albums that I already mentioned, and the other 4 are Japanese versions of their Korean title tracks, Girls, 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 A, Stop, Stop It, and Just Right. Yo, Moriagatteyo! Next up, in November of 2016, they released their first Japanese mini album with 6 brand new songs, the title track of which was Hey Ya. Hey Ya is a personal favorite for me, but that's mostly because the aesthetic of the music video is really cool, and the song also features my favorite thing in the world, which is Jin Young rapping. Get yourself up off the floor now. Next up is their 4th single album, My Swagger, which was released in May 2017 with the title track My Swagger and the B-side Me Me. My swagger, no my swagger, my swagger, Then in November 2017 they released their 2nd Japanese mini album, Turn Up, with 7 tracks and then like an extra instrumental, and the title track of that one is of course Turn Up. Turn Up. Honestly, a key instigator to me making this video in the first place was the fact that I still see people regularly commenting asking where Jackson is in their new Japanese releases. That honestly was one of the signs for me that made me realize that not everyone is even aware of Got7's Japanese releases, let alone the circumstances surrounding them. If you aren't already aware, from this mini album forward indefinitely, Jackson is no longer promoting with Got7 for their Japanese releases only. He's still in all their Korean stuff, but not their Japanese stuff. Ever since this happened, I've heard a lot of different reasons as to why he no longer participates in their Japanese releases, but I think the main overarching theme is that the dude has been overworking himself. Jackson's health wasn't exactly the best in 2017, and I think a lot of that seemed to stem from the fact that he was overworking himself. So as much as I might miss having him on their Japanese releases, if it means that he gets just the tiniest bit of rest in between all of his crazy schedules, I'm fine with that. However, this mini is also notable for an entirely different reason, which is that we got 3 really awesome unit songs. Y is a Mark and JB unit, In These Arms is a Jin Young and Young Jae unit, and 97 Young and Rich is, of course, a Bam Bam and Yugim unit song. And finally, rounding off their Japanese discography to date is their 5th single album, The New Era, which was released in June 2018 with the title track, The New Era.
Attention! I like it. Already I got it. Baby, what you waiting for?
So The New Era was actually released in multiple different versions, each of which had the title track The New Era and a B-side track, but each of these different versions has a different B-side track, so altogether totaled The New Era has 4 songs, 2 of which are unit songs. So that's it for their actual discography, but there are a couple of important-ish things that I wanted to note kind of at the end of this, just for people who are wanting to kind of keep up with their Japanese releases. First off, in terms of actually finding and listening to this music, unfortunately, it's not accessible in typical streaming sites such as iTunes or Spotify. I think that some of these releases might be accessible in some of these places in other locations worldwide, but at least where I'm at in the US, they are not. There are, of course, places to buy the physical albums online. They are a little bit more expensive than typical Korean albums are, but they are able to be purchased online. Honestly, I find YouTube to just be the easiest way to listen to these songs because people have already made videos for individual songs and for full albums as well. I think all of the songs are there on YouTube. Another thing that I've noticed when trying to keep up with Japanese releases is that they actually tend to be released a little bit more like American releases than like Korean releases. And what I mean by this is rather than the music video dropping at the same time as the mini album, therefore not getting any of the songs before the album is released, they actually tend to release the title track and its music video sometime before the actual album or single is released. I can't say that this is the same for all Japanese releases by K-pop artists, but I have noticed this in my bias groups. So if you were sitting there about to yell at me about the fact that The New Era was actually released in May, not in June, that's because they tend to release the music video before the actual album is released. And finally, this is something that you might have noticed throughout the video. These releases in Japan are actually produced and managed by different people than their Korean releases, so they tend to have a bit of a different sound in Japan. I feel like this wasn't as noticeable in their earlier releases, but now that they're writing all of their Korean releases, they've created this very distinct Got7 sound that has really diverged from the sound present in their Japanese songs. Although they have written some of their more recent Japanese songs, they've kept those songs consistent with that same more hype sound. This is why, especially in their Japanese title tracks, they tend to be a lot more hype and a lot more in your face than their more recent Korean releases. Also, they do have some social media accounts that they use specifically for their Japanese releases, mostly Twitter, so I will leave that linked down in the description. So that is all that I had for this video. I hope that this gave you the most complete look at all the songs that Got7 has released in Japanese. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about their Japanese releases, and I will try my best to answer them. Also, apologies if I got anything wrong. Like I said, this stuff can be kind of confusing, so it's possible that I got a couple details wrong. If so, let me know down in the comments so I can try and correct them. And as always, thanks for watching.